We're not talking about anyone being charged. We're talking about the suspension of licence and the process. That's what we're talking about here. They do not get charged. They have their licence suspended. By having their licences suspended, they lose their livelihood, they lose their assets, they lose everything. And it's just simply not right, and it's not fair, and it's just not decent. And it shouldn't be happening. And why can't this parliament and every parliament in Australia start treating shooters decently and not assuming that they're all criminals in waiting? Because they're not. They're absolutely not. They are the best people by definition because of the fact that they do have a firearms licence. They're background checked. It's extremely hard to get one, and given these days the way the firearms registry operates, it's very difficult to keep a firearms licence. I've seen dealers in various cities around this country, around this state, who've been vilified, have been put out of business for 3, 4, 5 years, one in particular who I won't mention, who had a personal problem with a particular police officer, and within a week he found himself at the receiving end of a raid from the black shirts from Sydney, and he was put out of business for 3.5 years and virtually bankrupted. And in the end, he was not charged with anything and got all his licences back. Totally unsatisfactory, totally unfair, and yet this is allowed to continue. How the hell can it go on? Well, that can only be based on the fact that someone in this society, starting with the Greens and the government and the Labor Party, assume that these people are criminals. And they should be treated as criminals and not even given the common justice and decency that a criminal gets in a court of law. If you're a firearms owner in this state, in this country, you're less than that. You're a second or third or fourth class citizen whose licence, whose livelihood and whose family can be destroyed with no bloody recourse.